and welcome to the vlog. You find us here today at St Benet's Abbey. It's the 21st of January, it's a Saturday, and it's a very cold day outside. This week's vlog is going to be about, I've had a request from a chap who wishes to remain anonymous, but he's asked me, could I show him how to make an omelette? He said his omelettes never work out, and an omelette is a nice, easy and tasty thing to make on a boat. People are frightened of making omelettes, but I'm going to show you how to do it, and they're really easy. But first of all, I wanted to talk about if I do inspire some people to do some cooking. I feel it's very important that you buy yourself two good knives. Buy yourself a prep knife. This one's about a 5-inch prep. I would advise on a 4-inch prep. And this is about an 8-inch cook's knife. These are reasonably cheap knives. They were out of somewhere like Morrison's. I can't remember how much they were. I think they were about 20 odd quid, something like that for both of them. If you've got two good knives and you look after them, they'll last you the rest of your life. The other thing you need is a steel. This is a tungsten steel. They're not expensive. Again, they're about £10. If you've got one, last you the rest of your life. The other thing I think you need is a good vegetable peeler. Now this is a cheap one, but this is the type I would advise you to buy. They're very easy to use. They peel your vegetables very, very quickly. And the reason I buy these cheap plastic ones is because I've thrown no end of them in the bin with the vegetable peelings. So I just buy this cheap one, and if I throw them out, it doesn't really matter. So there you go. These cost next to nothing, a couple of quid. Now, if you don't fancy using a steel, you can buy one of these things here, and these are amazing. I think they're about £18, £17, £18. They stick to your desk or your worktop. They'll stick to a cupboard like this. And all you do is you drag your knife through here once. But I will put a link in the description to these. They're very, very, very good. And the great thing about them is you can also sharpen your scissors on them. And they'll also sharpen serrated knives. And it saves you ever having to learn how to use a steel. Because there is a knack to using a steel, I'll be honest with you. Now I was just going to show you what I use at home. This is what I use at home. This is a Japanese knife made by a company called Kasumi. And they actually make samurai swords. And if Steve pans into this knife, you'll see the way the metal has been folded over and over and over and over. This is a very, very lethal knife. But I still have all 10 fingers. But it's very important to have a sharp knife, because a sharp knife is far less dangerous than a blunt knife. And the reason for that is the edge on the knife, this knife is nice and straight. So when I cut with it, it'll always cut nice and straight down, not to the sides. If you've got a blunt knife, that means the edge is either going over to the left or it's going over to the right. It's not proud, it's not true. And if you cut, that'll cut to whichever way the edge is pointing, and that could be towards your fingers, and you'll cut your fingers or even cut a finger off. So that you certainly don't want. So that's what I would say about knives. If you're going to cook, buy yourself two good knives, because they will last you all of your life. The best place to go and get them, I would say, is if you near by you, if you've got like a cookware place, you know, for the trade. Go in, they'll serve you. You know, they're not specifically for trade. You don't need to be a member or anything. If you walk in and just say you're looking to buy a couple of nice knives, they'll help you out. I would advise you to go for a German knife, Gustav Emil Earl, or Dreisack, a very, very good knives, not too expensive. Another knife they might try and put onto you is a knife called Global. With a Global knife, you need their own sharpener. You can't use any of these sharpeners, but I would go for a German knife, mid-price. Might cost you 30 quid to set yourself up, but I'll tell you, it's the one and only 30 quid you'll ever have to spend, because if you look after them, they'll look after you. So anyway, I'm going to move promptly on. This gentleman who wishes to remain anonymous has asked me to show him how to make an omelette, and I'm going to show you. And I say it every week. It's going to be my little catchphrase, this, but I'm going to show you how easy an omelette is. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn on my little pan. I know a lot of you don't like this little pan, this little heater, but we are addressing the issue, and we are going to get something different. Okay, I've got a little bowl here. Your average omelette is normally 3 eggs. If you go anywhere and have an omelette, they've usually put 3 eggs in it. If your eggs are large, you could maybe 2, but normally an omelette's 3. Another little tip, never hit your egg off the bowl. I'll tell you why. Because bits of shell can go into the bowl and it's a pig to get them out. So it's always better just to give them a little tap on the bench. Once you've tapped them on the bench, they open up lovely and easy. No problem at all. So I'm going to do a 3-egg omelette today. And Steve's going to have it for his lunch. And I am going to have just 2 fried eggs with bread and butter. So that's our egg. A little bit of salt. And what the salt does, apart from flavour, I usually go 1 pinch for each egg. And what the salt does is it helps to break the white down, but it also gives the omelette flavour. And a little bit of black pepper, which is one of my favourite things, is black pepper. And just a splash of milk. There's a big argument as to whether you should put milk in an omelette or whether you shouldn't. I've always been taught to put a splash of milk in it. The other thing that's very nice is if you've got a little drop of cream, a little splash of cream makes the omelette lovely and umptious. Just a splash, that's it. No more, no less. And again, when whisking an omelette, you don't need to go mad, you know. You just have to mix it through, just basically to break up the yolks. But you don't need to go absolutely mental. So that, in fact, will be absolutely fine. We'll just put that fork up there. My pan's nicely heated. That's the very important thing, that you heat your pan. Right? So the next thing is a little bit of butter. Just a little knob of butter. There you go. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that butter coats the whole of this pan. Move it about and just make sure the whole of your pan gets covered with the butter. Now I don't really know why people are frightened of making an omelette, because they really are quite easy. I'm going to put another wee bit of butter in here actually. There you go. Now here's the bit. We've now got this pan nicely covered and it's nice and hot, and I'm going to put my egg straight in. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to go in and attack this omelette straight away and start mixing it and stirring it and going mental. I'm going to let the omelette start to cook round the sides. And once it's started to cook round the sides and it's caught at the bottom as well, it's sitting in a layer of butter, so it's definitely not sticking to that pan. Now when it gets to this sort of stage, all you do is just take the back of your spoon and just very gently move your omelette like that. That's all you have to do. That's it. Don't go absolutely mental. Keep calm. Move that there. Do exactly the same thing. Over this side here. Move it. Just tilt your pan to the side. Fill that area up. Just leave it for a second. Allow it to catch. And then once again, do exactly the same thing. Let that area just fill up. Move your spoon. Let that catch. And you basically just keep going round and round and round until you've got all of the liquid of the egg. Which we virtually have. Now, when you get to this sort of stage here, I'm just going to give it one more little check. That's actually beautiful. The next thing I'm going to do here, you could now at this stage, you could actually start to add things like, if you wanted mushrooms in it, some nice finely sliced mushrooms, or if you were having some ham, you could put some nice little cubes of ham in there at this stage, or some cheese, or basically whatever you want, prawns, basically put whatever you like in it. Peppers, onions, whatever you like, round about this stage when it's just about lost all of the liquid. I'm going to add a tiny little bit of Parmesan cheese, basically because it's delicious and I had some left for last week, so we don't like wasting anything. So we'll put a little bit of Parmesan cheese in. And then all I'm going to do for about 30 seconds is I'm going to get a lid and I'm just going to sit a lid on there just for about 30 seconds. And you turn the pan round like that. And I'm just going to leave that, just allow the omelette just to dry out a little bit and the cheese to melt. In the right circumstances at home, I would have had the grill on and I would put the omelette under the grill for about 60 seconds. You don't have the luxury of doing that here, so this is another way of doing it. Obviously in a professional kitchen, they obviously have salamanders running all the time, so when they're making an omelette, they get to this stage, they just throw it under the salamander, it puffs right up, they serve it, and out the door it goes. Now I would say, people, that is absolutely perfect. You do not want an omelette to dry right out because it'll be horrible. You want it to have a little bit of moisture. Now I'm just going to make sure that this omelette is not sticking to the pan, which it isn't. There we go. And I shall get Steve's plate here and I shall show you how to turn it out onto the plate. And the trick is just to set your pan like that, let the omelette fall onto the plate and then just lift your pan up gently and let the omelette roll out. And there you go. There's one absolutely perfect omelette which Steve's going to have for his lunch. So anyway, people, I'm going to leave it there. That's all I'm going to cover this week. Thanks very much for watching, if you have been. If you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. There'll be more. I don't know what we're doing next week. Sorry we haven't posted last week's video. It's still in the editing, but it will go up, we do promise you. By the way, if you didn't like the video, give it a thumbs down, but we hope you did. So anyway, in the meantime, we'll see you next time we make a video. All the best from me and Steve.
Ta-da.
All the best for Steve. Bye-bye for now.